Good morning to everyone. In this session, I'm going to start with a new chapter, locomotion and movement. First, we will discuss about synopsis, and once we finish the synopsis, we'll see the objective questions on this chapter. So here, first, we will try to understand what actually is locomotion and movement. So here, coming to locomotion, the meaning of locomotion is change in or change of place or location. So change of place or location is what we call locomotion. So whereas coming to the movement, so we say change of position. So here first we'll see the examples of this locomotion. So in the case of locomotion, the examples like walking, then running, climbing, okay, flying, swimming, etc. will come under the locomotion. While coming to the movement, so coming to the movement of limbs, of course this movement of hind limbs will result in locomotion, right, in case of human beings, or altogether all the four limbs may also help in, okay, their movement can also help in locomotion. So that we will see it later. So here the movement of limbs, then movement of jaws. So the movement of jaws will not result in locomotion. Then the movement of eyelids will also doesn't result in locomotion, and then movement of tongue, etc. Right. So for this reason, we have a statement that says all locomotions are movements. So all locomotions are movements, but all movements are not locomotions. But all movements are not locomotions, right? So all locomotions are, okay, movements, but all movements will not be the locomotions. So we will try to understand this statement by taking, okay, some of the examples here. Okay, so here in case of cilia in paramecia, so cilia in paramecium, the cilia in paramecium help in movement of food through cytopharynx. So if you see the structure of okay, so this is how the paramecium, okay, looks like, and this, the body of the paramecium is all covered by cilia, and this movement of cilia actually helps in, okay, gathering the food, and once it gathers the food, okay, it will be passing it into the cytostome, and from where you will find the cytopharynx. So here you can see this is the cytostome. So that is the cell mouth, and here you find the cytopharynx. So whatever that food, of course it has one macronucleus and one micronucleus. So the food collected by this cilia Okay, so we'll pass the food into the cytosol. From there it will be ingested through the cytopharynx and results in the formation of a right food vacuole, in which the food will undergo the process of digestion and absorption and then digestion. So this is the cilia in case of paramecia will help in, so they help in movement of food through cytopharynx, help in movement of food through cytopharynx. So that is what we have seen here, right? And not only they help in the movement of food through the cytopharynx, the cilia will also help in locomotion. The cilia will also help in locomotion. Now that's in the case of a paramecia. We'll see another example. So say suppose this is the example 1 and this is the, we'll see example 2. Now in case of tentacles in hydra, so here also the tentacles in hydra have dual functions. The dual functions, so one function, it will help in capturing food, and also it help in locomotion. So it also helps in locomotion. So now see here, this is the hydra and we know these are tentacles, and these tentacles are loaded with nematocysts. So the tentacles, and the tentacles are loaded with nematocysts, are also called neuroblasts, which help in capturing the food. So now when it requires the food, so that will be done by these tentacles. And if the hydra wants to change the location or the place, so what it does is by using the tentacles, it will move from this point, okay, say suppose from this point A to, okay, point B. So it shows a variety of movements like somersault movements, and with the help of that somersault movements it can change the place, so that will indicate the location. So from here, so it has come to a location of, okay, say B. So here after it comes here and then again it settles on its okay, base. So you can see in this case from A position to, okay, from A place to B place, it has changed its uh, location. So that's what we call it locomotion. So it shows, okay, somersault movements and many other type of movements that will involve these tentacles to move the hydra from one place to another place. So if this location is not suitable, or if it is not able to find the food, then this will move from, okay, from this location to another location with the help of tentacles. So the tentacles in hydra will help in capturing of food, and it also help in locomotion. The same case here also, the cilia will help in capturing the food and also help in the locomotion of paramecium. One more example we will see, so that will be the example, okay, 3, in case of human beings. So limbs in humans, so the limbs in humans, okay, will help in, so they help in changing body postures, help in changing, okay, the body postures, and these limbs will also help in locomotion. Help in locomotion. So some movements of the hand, okay, will help to take a glass of water. So that taking a glass of water, eating food with the help of four limbs doesn't mean the person is changing the place. So with the help of the hind limbs, right, the person can change the place. So here the limbs in human beings, they can help in changing the body postures, and they can also help in locomotion. So with this we can understand that the movement and locomotion cannot be studied separately, and they are interrelated. So now let's see about types of movements. There are three types of movements. One, amoeboid movement. Then the second one we have is the ciliary movement. So just now we have seen in case of paramecium the ciliary movement, which help in capturing the food and also help in locomotion. The next one is the muscular movement, right? So we will see these three types of movements separately, and we'll understand what actually is amoeboid movement, and what is a ciliary movement, and what is muscular movement. So first we'll study about this amoeboid movement. So this amoeboid movement is mainly by the formation of pseudopodia. So it is mainly by formation of, right, pseudopodia. So these pseudopodia are finger-like projections. Okay, so that will be formed. So you can see in case of amoeba. So these are some finger-like projections, and you can see this is the nucleus, and amoeba is forwarding in this direction, so it is moving in this direction. Okay, so uh, uh, the amoeba, so in which direction it moves, it produces these finger-like projections. So you will see those finger-like projections, and that indicates the amoeba is moving in that direction. Now this okay, so these finger-like projections are what we call them the pseudopodia. So they are called pseudopodia. Okay, and these pseudopodia are formed by streaming of protoplasm. So here inside the protoplasm will be moving into these finger like projections. Okay, and then it will be returning back, and then again it will enter into these, okay, finger like projections. So this amoeboid movement usually explained, or the pseudopodia formation will be explained by, okay, a theory called sol gel theory. So that is explained by sol gel theory. Okay, so here and uh, okay, so that actually helps, means the sol will convert into gel, and gel will convert into sol, and that actually results in the movement of the amoeba. So sol will get converted into gel, and the gel will convert it into sol back, and this will help, okay, the organism to move in a direction. Now here there are skeletal elements called microfilaments. There are skeletal elements called microfilaments, and these microfilaments are also involved in amoeboid movement. So these microfilaments, which will be the part of cytoskeleton. So they are part of cytoskeleton, and these microfilaments are also involved in amoeboid movement. So they are also involved in amoeboid movement. Okay, right. So now we already understood that this pseudopodia, it will not only help in locomotion, it will also help in capturing the food. So pseudopodia have two functions. So one function is locomotion and another function is capturing food. Another function is capturing food. So this amoeba, when it comes in contact with its prey, so say suppose a bacteria, so what it does is it extends its pseudopodia in this way, right? So you can see here, this is its prey, and now in course of time, right, the pseudopodia will grow further. So the pseudopodia will grow further, and finally they come in contact with each other in this way, right? And the point of contact will make this as the food vacuole, and the outer one will join, okay, and finally engulfing that prey. So this is not to be confused, so this is not a nucleus, this is the prey. Okay, and so this is the amoeba which formed the pseudopodia, and it helped in capturing the prey. So this in the food vacuole, so this results in the formation of food vacuole, and in the food vacuole the process of digestion takes place. Once the digestion is completed, the food vacuole comes to meet with the cytoplasm of, so it comes and meets with the cytoplasm, and this will result in the point of contact where the plasma membrane will break open, and that results in releasing of undigested food to outside. So here I have just given you a brief idea, okay, how this process of digestion. So this is undigested food released out. This is the undigested food released out. Okay, so this is how the amoeboid movement with the formation of pseudopodia, which help in both the locomotion. So here you can see these finger like projections which help in locomotion, and they also help in capturing the food and forming the food vacuole, and the digestion that takes place inside the food vacuole, and finally releasing the undigested food. Okay, so this is how the amoeboid movement takes place. So this you will see in case of animals like even amoeba, right? We will also see such movements in our body also. There are certain cells called macrophages, so which are a type of WBC cells. These macrophages will also move exactly how this amoeba moves. So the macrophages show the amoeboid movement. Okay, even the amoeba shows the amoeboid movement by formation of this pseudopodia. And there are other leukocytes that also show this type of movement. So here I'm giving mainly the macrophages. They are a type of the leukocytes who show amoeboid movement. right? So next we will see about ciliary movement. Before I go into the next movement, that is ciliary movement, I would like to show you here amoeboid movement that was recorded by Dr. R. Wagner under the microscope. So you can see here how the amoeba movement takes place. So you can see here how the cytoplasm is moving and resulting in the formation of right pseudopodia. So these finger-like projections are called pseudopodia. So you can see how pseudopodia is being formed. So the finger-like projections, and you can see the movement of the protoplasm inside the amoeba and how it is moving. And here is another video that is produced by Maurice Kemp, and here he shows you how the pseudopodia are produced around the paramecia and then finally engulf it. The condition we call it endocytosis. Let's see so how it takes place. So you can see here there is an extension of pseudopodia, right, and finally merge with each other, and the paramecia is engulfed and it results in the formation of the food vacuole inside. So this is how, okay, the endocytosis takes place with the help of pseudopodia in case of amoeba, right? So that's all about amoeba movement. Now let's see the next one, the ciliary movement. The next one, ciliary movement. Now coming to the ciliary movement, here the movement or locomotion caused due to cilia. So that is movement or the locomotion, right, caused due to cilia is what we call the ciliary movement, right? And these ciliary movements we will see, okay, in case of paramecia, and even we can see this ciliary movement that occurs in our internal tubular organs, which are actually lined by ciliated epithelium, right? So these ciliary movements also occur in, okay, internal tubular organs. So these internal tubular organs, so which are lined by ciliated epithelium, which are lined by ciliated epithelium. So in them also we will see these ciliary movements. So we will see here, okay, so inside the, okay, so you find the cells, so in this way, and we have cilia on the top of them. So this movement of cilia will help in movement of egg if it is present in the case of a fallopian tube. So if you are seeing here, uh, this is the fallopian tube, say suppose, and it is lined by the ciliated epithelium. So you can see here the presence of cilia, and says suppose this is the fallopian tube. Now inside this fallopian tube, okay, the movement of the egg. So here this is the egg, and it is released from the ovary, right, and entered into the fallopian tube, and this egg will be uh, will be passed down into the uterus with the help of this cilia. So this is what we call the ciliated epithelium. So this is okay, ciliated epithelium. And these are also present. The ciliated epithelium is also present, okay, in the trachea, is also present in the trachea. So where actually it helps in removal of dust particles and some of the foreign substances. So there it helps in removing of dust particles. So it helps in removing of the dust particles and also some foreign substances which actually entered into the trachea. So foreign substances accidentally if they enter, so they will be also removed, okay, or passed to outside, or they may enter into the trachea along with the inhaled air. Okay, so this is about the ciliated epithelium in the fallopian tube and the ciliated epithelium in the trachea. And we already have come to know that in case of paramecium, right, so the cilia will help in capturing the food, and also it helps in locomotion. So the cilia in paramecium help to capture food, and it also help in locomotion. So these are some examples for ciliary movement. So now let us see the next movement, that is the third type of movement called muscular movement. The third one is muscular movement. So let's see about this muscular movement. So here the movement or locomotion that is caused by muscles. So here the movement or the locomotion that is caused by muscles, we call it as muscular movement. So we can see here the movement of jaws, the movement of tongue, the movement of limbs, or many other structures, they require the muscular movement. And these muscles, they have, okay, contractile property. So muscles have contractile property, means they are able to contract. So they have contractile property, and this contractile property can be effectively used for locomotion and other movements. So this property, okay, is used for locomotion and other movements. Right. So now this locomotion actually requires a perfect coordinated activity of muscular and the nervous system. So there must be, okay, coordination or coordinated activity, the coordinated activity of muscular of muscular and nervous system. So both are required, okay, for the coordinated activity. Okay, so the locomotion requires a perfect coordinated activity of muscular and nervous system. So this is okay for the locomotion. So now we'll understand this muscular movement. So first we will study about the muscles. So what these muscles, the structure and everything. Okay, so here we know that these muscles are derived from uh, a germinal layer called the mesoderm. So mesoderm is the germinal layer from which these muscles are derived. So there are exceptions in this case. Okay, so in the muscles in the case of iris and the ciliary body in the eyes, so we need to consider here. So there are exceptions. So the exceptions include the muscles of iris and the ciliary body of, okay, so here that is the ciliary body of eye. So inside that we will see later in the coming chapters, we will see the detailed structure of the eye. There we will learn, okay, what this iris is and the ciliary body. So these the muscles of iris and ciliary body of eye, these are the one that develop from ectoderm. So these develop from ectoderm. So we know we are triploblastic animals, and in a triploblastic animals different organs will develop from three germinal layers, okay, ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So these muscles will develop from, okay, the mesoderm. So they develop from the mesoderm germinal, okay, layer. And there are some exceptions in this case, the muscles of iris, the ciliary body, who develop from the ectoderm. So now in the body, about 40 to 50%, okay, in the human body there are muscles. So the muscles weigh, so whatever that, okay, the muscles weight in the human body. So muscles weight in human body, so that is around 40 to 50%, okay, of total weight, right? And there are some properties for the muscles. So what are the properties of these muscles? So we'll see, okay, the properties of muscles. So properties of muscles. So the properties of muscles include excitability. So it includes excitability, and it includes contractibility, means they are capable of contractibility, and then, okay, or the contractility will take contractility, and extensibility, means they can extend, okay, so extensibility, and then elasticity. So these are the properties of muscles. Now when we classify the muscles, there are three types of muscles. We will see now what are all those three types of muscles. The three types of muscles. So the three types of muscles include: one, skeletal muscles, then second one, smooth muscles, then the third one, cardiac muscles. So skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles are three types of muscles. Right. So we will see about the first one, mainly the skeletal muscles. But before that, we will see a slight differences between the skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and the cardiac muscles. So here, the skeletal muscles, as the name indicates, they are closely associated with the skeletal components of the body. So they are closely associated with the skeletal components, of body. Then coming to, okay, these smooth muscles. The smooth muscles, you can also call them, right, as the visceral muscles, also called the visceral muscles. And these visceral muscles do not show any striations. Because of that, they can also be called non-striated muscles, whereas in the case of skeletal muscles, the skeletal muscles will show, okay, striations. So what these striations and how these striations are formed, we will see in the coming sessions. So skeletal muscles will show striations, so hence the skeletal muscles are also called the striated muscles. They're also called striated muscles. So smooth muscles or visceral muscles or non-striated muscles. And coming to, right, the cardiac muscles, the cardiac muscles, okay, are also striated muscles, and they are present in heart only. So these cardiac muscles are seen only in heart. So except that, nowhere in the body you will find the cardiac muscles. So we'll see where these smooth muscles are present and skeletal muscles are also present. Before that, so here, as I said, the smooth muscles are non-striated muscles. So these will be, okay, involuntary in function. The smooth muscles are involuntary. So they are under the control of brain, but indirectly. So it is the autonomic nervous system that will take control of these smooth muscles. Even the cardiac muscles, they are striated, but these are also involuntary. So they are under the control of brain indirectly. So here involuntary, which means they are under the control of brain, but they are indirectly under the control of brain. So both the smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. While coming to the skeletal muscles, these are voluntary. So which means they are directly under the control of brain. So whatever the brain says, immediately the skeletal muscles will follow according to the instructions given by the, okay, the central nervous system. So whereas in the case of smooth muscles and, okay, the cardiac muscles, so they will be under the control of the nervous system, but they will be indirect. So for that reason, we have used the word involuntary. So smooth and cardiac muscles both are involuntary, whereas skeletal muscles are voluntary. Now, so let's see here the functions of skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. So when coming to right the skeletal muscles, skeletal muscles. So these skeletal muscles are primarily involved in locomotion. So they are primarily involved in locomotion and also the changes in the body posture and changes in body postures. So that is in the case of skeletal muscles, right? And when coming to the function of smooth muscles, so how smooth muscles, okay, function. So here the smooth muscles will help in transportation of food. So we know these muscles are present in the muscular layer of alimentary canal. So these smooth muscles for that, okay, help in transportation. They help in transportation of food through digestive system. Transportation of food through digestive system, right? And also they help in transportation of gametes through genital tracts. So help in transportation, help in transportation of gametes through genital tracts, okay. And coming to these cardiac muscles, so these cardiac muscles will show a branching pattern. So later I will show you the differences between the skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles, and they, okay, so they are not under the control of the brain directly, okay. So that's the reason why we call them involuntary, okay. So we will see now. I will show you the pictures of the skeletal muscles and smooth muscles and cardiac muscles, how they are seen. So here is the picture. I am showing the three types of muscles: the cardiac muscles and skeletal muscles and smooth muscles. Okay, so you can see the cardiac muscles in this case, in this session it is branched. So it is branched. So here in the skeletal muscles and smooth muscles you don't find branching. So about these skeletal muscles we will discuss in detail in our coming sessions, okay. In the next session I will okay, briefly tell you what will be the structure of these smooth muscles and even the structure of the cardiac muscles, right. So with this I will end here. We'll see in the next session.